Hi guys, Pax Europiana here. Welcome. Freshly vaccinated with Astra. I'm very happy. I want to share this good news, and I really had a field day when I was called by the doctor and I had to come, and now I'm having my first jab of AstraZeneca. That's really good. I want to talk today because this week, beyond all this vaccination crisis, and luckily it's gonna be fine, I hope we will overcome it, but the big thing obviously is enlargement this week, because 1st of May is the celebration day for the 2004 enlargement round of the European Union. 100 million new people in the European Union, and this is a fantastic feast. We have to repeat. There's another 67 million people waiting for us, and this is important. Now in the corona crisis we have helped them, and in Ukraine and the Balkans, but late, and there's a huge difference between membership in the political union, in the solidarity union of the EU, and what is happening to the countries who want to join but are still, and they want to be with us, but they are not invited up to now and they're not integrated. Makes a big difference, and it's very unfair ultimately to postpone them any further. Obviously some criteria must be, there's no doubt, so we have to also see how flexible we can be in the instruments in the coming years and months, but the ultimate message of the 1st of May 2004 is that we have to enlarge. Because why? It was a great success, it's the fair and right thing to do, and it's Europe united, whole and free. That's what we have to achieve, and so it's important to go for the new step. I've made it very clear, anybody who follows my videos, 3 new members. Albania had another very good election. In 2013 everybody was still talking, will there be peaceful rotation? Now it's the 3rd time Rama. You know, the socialists must be happy. So is it there? There is no problem in the whole management, even it's getting much smoother, and so it's like that. Albania now to adopt the euro, join, it's already NATO more than a decade, since 2009, in the EU in 3 years. It's absolutely no problem. Just the euro has to be done. Macedonia, the same case, also already in NATO. All big issues are settled. Please, Bulgaria, you will get your Schengen thing. Yes, everything will be fine. And now also to have the membership for 2024. And in Montenegro, anyhow, everything is almost so perfect that waiting anymore can hardly be justified even by the biggest enemy of enlargements. And if there is an enemy of enlargement, he should anyhow not be in any European position, because who is against enlargement shouldn't be running any kind of European position, obviously. Yeah. There's no doubt about that. So ultimately what is the message is clear. Then NATO membership, also of the other countries who are in the EU already, but obviously then for Serbia, Kosovo, Bosnia, and then the 3 countries, Ukraine, Moldova and Georgia, and the countries inside the EU, let's mention them, Austria, very important, obviously Sweden, Cyprus, Malta and Finland, Ireland, and all in, and this must be the outcome of the invitation summit in July. It's not the big enlargement summit, but it's the invitation summit to get all these things done, and the Americans to push and crack the Europeans open, because that will be needed, because we are too racist for doing it alone, unfortunately. But that's basically important to see that also the economic integration must go parallel much faster with the euro, and with the adoption of the euro, the enlargement of the eurozone. I made many podcasts about it already. I'm sure some will disagree, but that's the way to do. And also, as I've seen it now in many of these podcasts, which are in the price for peace, also with Serbia, obviously sealed by the euro for Serbia in one big step in 2022. That must go relatively fast. Yeah? We really have no time to waste or to lose anymore. And now, after the shock of the corona, after we've seen how important unity is, we have to be fast and decisive. Economic unification by the euro in Eastern Europe, all the countries who want, obviously, that's the clear next step. Also tax reform, let's not forget, competitive taxation system, also in Austria, 15% flat tax, and over there also everywhere 10% east of Austria. That's the way to do it, and that is very important in order to speed up the catch-up process. As I've already in a beautiful podcast now today outlined, it's very successful, the catch-up process, the integration process of Eastern Europe, unprecedented, 17 years now. And even when you look at the countries which were further below, Romania, Bulgaria, They came from 1,600 GDP per capita to 12,500. In the case of Romania, that's almost 10 times. That's 10 times actually, if I think about it. Yes, it's 10 times in just 20 years. I mean, who has ever achieved that? Bravo, European Union, you are a slow decision maker, but now the Americans will anyhow push for that. But it's actually unbelievable what we have achieved, and I'm proud. Yeah, I remember that I have been a small place as a student, as a youth representative, later for small medium enterprises, then as a consultant, that I've been part of the whole story. I'm so proud about it. Yeah? Imagine 10 times more GDP in 20 years in Romania. I remember in the European Parliament it was like this. We had this 2004 February event. It was really spectacular during the EPP Congress in Brussels, and it was like that all the Romanian elite was sitting there. Even Miklos was making his speech about the flat tax. They were taking notes. And off we went, the economic miracle from 2005. Huh? Yeah, okay, the great financial crisis was hitting everybody hard, but the flat tax, Euro, NATO zone members, and especially the PAC countries, they were of course smoothing through that crisis much easier than the high tax, complicated countries. Anyhow, what is there? It's something to celebrate. We have really to see some countries didn't achieve the maximum benefit of the membership, you know. Poland with all its internal complications, yeah, that's of course, it would be also, you know, if Poland would be already as rich as the Slovak Republic, imagine $5,000 difference, yeah, that makes a big difference in such a big country. That would be several billions already, that alone. But okay, Eurozone membership is of course important now for Czech Republic. They hopefully have learned how important solidarity is, and also Poland and Hungary. That would be the big step for a kind of reset with Hungary, obviously. A lot of blood and a lot of tears were now spoiled in this fight with Hungary. It's useless, yeah. You know, these identity poor countries, they have this kind of national identity process. It's hard to overcome, yeah. I'm of course, you know, calling them back to reason, but what we really need is the Eurozone for all the three countries, and that should somehow unite Europe. Absolutely it will, and also smooth the edges with the Poles, the Czechs and the Hungarians, which there were unfortunately too many. But you know, that's all politically, and about a very specific sector of politics. On the big issue, obviously Hungary has to come back away from Russia. That's painful. But okay, that's also, it's not perfect, you know. There's also corruption in Romania and Bulgaria, this kind of Chaika style control of justice, the Maltese politicization. But you know, if you're honest, then you see also the Maltese were extremely successful in the last 17 years. It's unprecedented opportunities for whole of Central Europe, never in history of the world. Yeah, it was ever so much catch-up process like in this 20 years for the Eastern Europeans. First time fully fair, free and united with the European Union and with the Western Europeans who always lived in relative, privilege west of the Rhine and all over there. Now we have achieved that, and that's something to celebrate. Obviously, it's also a mission not to exclude anybody in the future and not to be this kind of protectionist, xenophobic European Union some dream of, to exclude the Eastern Europeans and the Balkans, but include them. Include them as we have done it in 2004, and that's the important message of this Corona crisis. That's the message of 2004, the 1st of May. That is the celebratory message we have to spread wherever we are, in order to make it clear all NATO members, all Eurozone members, all Euro adopters welcome first, obviously. Serbia can lobby whatever it wants. Without the adoption of the Euro and NATO membership, there is no way in. But once it's in, come in fast. In 2029, we have more or less completed the European Union, fulfilled the mission of our founding fathers, have Ukraine, Kosovo, Bosnia, Serbia, Moldova, Georgia, and Albania, Montenegro obviously already long in, and that will be the step for stability. And then obviously we have to reform many things in Europe as well, but we have time for that. Most important is to unify all Europeans in the European Union who want, and obviously to be successful together. And then also the Western Europeans to be more competitive. Obviously lower taxes is the way to do it, and that is then the topic of the next podcast. I will also talk about that one. But now let's celebrate. The 1st of May is a special day in European history for this 2004 courage, for the success of it, and we can just be celebrating. I personally will now go home and celebrate my first AstraZeneca jab, and I'm very happy about that. And thanks Ursula for getting it done. It was maybe not Europe's finest hour, that's on the 1st of May, you should celebrate that more. But it was, overall, when we look back 10 years, we will be merciful in the evaluation of the slow speed of the start. But nevertheless, it worked. We will be good. The recovery is now the question, how to organize it. Please see my video about the European Growth and Unity Pact for the infrastructure. We need another package. And, did I mention it? We need lower taxes in Germany and in Austria. And we need governments who really support enlargement. Yeah, that's the most important point for me. Anyhow, on this great day, let's call it a day. Thanks a lot for watching Pax Europiana. One more podcast I will do today, but then I will go into celebration mode, I think. Thanks a lot, guys. Bye.